this is a quick one because I'm off out training, but just thought I'd have a quick chat. I've just made a brew. I'm really in a rush, and something came to mind, and it was like, have you ever got yourself in a position where you might feel a bit, I don't know, over leveraged, or you've just committed to a big change, you took a couple of risks, and you're wondering how to, maybe you're a little bit anxious about the future or something, you've taken a big gamble. How do you trust yourself, and how do you bet on yourself to succeed? Right. This is exactly how I feel right now, and I've felt this before a few times. Various different areas of, it can affect you in any area of life, whether that's moving house. What happens if it's a good move? Moving job, starting a new business, maybe a new relationship, something like this, right? It's all the same. How do you trust in yourself that you've made the right decision? Now, I don't want this to be about making the decision. I've done videos on that. I think I've got a great video on my channel called, it's how to make decisions. Just have a look. Just as when I was at Malham Cove on the rocks, I did a good one there about making decisions. There's plenty of techniques on actually making the decision, but this particular chat now, it's kind of after you've made the decision. Let's say you've just committed a shitload of money to something, and you've just gone 2 feet in, and you've been umming and ahhing for a long time. You're going, you know what, sod it, chuck your money in, or you've took the risk, and you're like, shit, a bit of buyer's remorse maybe. You're wondering what to do next. And how do you bet on yourself? I've spoken about this a few times about creating your own luck. Now, when I say creating your own luck, I don't mean like just flipping a fucking coin or waiting for the world to hand you something, because the world owes you nothing. It's not going to hand you anything. What I mean is, creating your own luck is all about putting yourself in the best possible position so that you're likely to attract good luck. And what does that mean? Well, it means doing the right things and staying consistent. It's like staying the course. So if you've got like a big project, a big plan, and it costs a bit of investment, whether that is, most big changes cost some investment, whether that's an upfront investment in your time, resources, money, commitment. You maybe have to let go of something else as a result, give up on certain other things, even if that's like, whatever you're going to do, you've got to give something up to commit to something else. So you're prepared, and you've really committed, and you feel a little bit over committed and a little bit over leveraged, maybe spent a bit of money, jacked a job in, whatever you've done, and you start getting a bit of buyer's remorse, and you're a little bit worried, and you're like, shit, what do I do next? Well, to create your own luck, right, to create the conditions for your own luck and your own success, is, have you got almost like the mental fortitude? It's almost like developing a trader's mindset, knowing that what you do right now is correct. Hello, how are you doing? So it's like, are you doing the right things, right? You've created a plan, you're working towards it, and sometimes it's like, I'm doing the right thing. So I'm doing this at the minute, right, I'm bidding for some very big projects in my business. They're massive, like the sort of projects that would like potentially change your life, right? And I'm a little bit over leveraged. I feel a bit like I've really committed too much. Obviously a lot of money, a lot of time. But how do you know? How can you bet on yourself to know that you can push through and make it? Well, if you're consistently doing the right things, right? So you've got a plan. You're consistently doing all the right things for your endeavors. In my case, it's my business. And I can check, because I've got experience, I can check. Oh yeah, these are the background, Star Wars ones, yeah. So I can check with what I'm doing right now is, right because I've got experience in terms of my business and I know the right steps. So if once you create a good plan and you know all the steps that you need to do, no one can guarantee an outcome. All you can do is create the conditions for that success by doing the right things. So all you have to do is look at the steps in your plan and ask yourself, are you doing everything you can? Right? So I've got like this tech business that we're bidding big public tenders. It costs a lot of time, a lot of money, and you plow weeks into these things, and it's like, shit, what happens if we don't win it? Well, you know, they're hard to win, but you only need one to change your life. And it's like, right, okay, is it worth going for a big gamble like that? Same when I started my business. If I've got really good resilience, just to like, I can fucking withstand all sorts of stress and just push through. And I've just started an e-commerce business, right? E-commerce is like 2 years, 12 months, 2 years. And it's like, until that point, you've got to push through and grind and make sure you're doing everything. So it's like, have we got the right influencers on board? Have we got this? Have we got the advertising? Have we got, all these steps that need doing? Do we have an SEO optimized website? Right. Do we know how to place ads? Do we know how to create organic content? Do we know how to get an audience? Do we know how to create good products? These are steps that I've had to sort of do. But I've got a lot of experience in creating SEO optimized websites from my tech business. So I'm kind of confident in myself, right? So when you're wondering whether you can just ask yourself, have you got all of the things in place? Have you done everything you can? And if you're missing a skill or two, do you need to hire someone or reach out to someone on Fiverr or something like this to sort of fill in the gaps, right? Because a lot of this, it's like when I first started my tech business, I didn't know everything about that business. And there were a lot of things there that I didn't even know about. I was sort of ignorant to until they hit me in the face, and I was like, shit, now I've got to go and do this. And like at the minute, I'm like learning about Amazon keywords and stuff like this, random for e-commerce. Luckily, I've got a load of SEO experience with Google SEO, Google Ads, all that. It's all the same, so I'm okay there. So how do you know you can bet on yourself? Simply put, right? You just check your plan. Are you doing everything that you can? And as long as you consistently keep turning up and doing everything you can, eventually you'll get your success. It's almost like you know that you can trust in yourself when you know that you're doing everything you can, right? And if you're somehow lying to yourself, oh yeah, it'll be right, I'll just get some success. You won't. It'll take longer and you won't do it. So it's just about consistency and understanding that things take longer. Let's have a look at a few of these questions. Yeah, biggest thing is trusting in yourself. Yeah, I get that. That's like, how do you trust in yourself? It's like having confidence in your own ability. So like in my industry, with the tech business software, it's for engineering. So I was I was a designer all my life. And then I was a client side consultant in that space. So I kind of know that industry. So can I bet on myself in that? Yeah, because I've been doing it all my life. So I've never had any doubt. So it's like, whether you can bet on you. Now, when you start a business, you might have a bit of imposter syndrome or something, or if you move in jobs or you want a promotion, anything, imposter syndrome can creep in. And it does, you might think, oh shit, what if I don't get the job? What if this happens? What if that happens? You start looking for the problems. And the way to get around that is simply just, no, Bolton. No, my business is based in Bolton, by the way. It does sound like, no, I've got like a Lancastrian accent. Yeah, I'm actually in Bury, which is next to Bolton, so next door. But my main business, the office, is in Bolton, on Middlebrook, if you know where that is. Yeah. You're from Wythenshawe. Yeah, I've got friends there. Yeah. I used to hire a guy from Wythenshawe, actually. Guy from, oh yeah, Ratcliffe, that's kind of next door. So a guy from who built our first software lives in Wythenshawe. Great guy, yeah. Right, I'm work in progress, mate. I've got a lot of plan and dream, but I know sometimes I'm not doing all that I can do. Yeah, fair enough, right? I'm doing more than I was. That's the main thing. So the one thing is you recognised here that are you better than you was previously? So if you're already doing more than you was, then you're already growing in the right direction. So it's like, I don't know what your plans are, but if you've got a plan, the measure is, are you consistently getting nearer? Are you working towards it? Because you're not trying to do everything in a week. You're going to try and do it gradually over time. So a lot of this is like self-belief, betting on yourself. If you think about cheers for that. So yeah, so if you think about all the I did a video when I was out in Krakow in the winter time, and it was the two things that all successful people do. The first one, right, they always do the hard things that other people are not. So that, unfortunately, is I am just going to push myself through and do the things that I need to do. Most people won't, but I will. It's that. The second thing that they do is they always have like positive self-talk. So this is like that self-belief. You've got to believe that if you keep doing the right things, that you get the result. And the funny thing is, it's like, it reminds me when I first started the software business. Incredible. The amount of, like, you're coming from such a position of scarcity, like, you're nothing, you've no brand name when you start out. It's like, how do you go from that to something? Well, it's a journey, and it takes a lot of self-belief and a lot of confidence to push through those years. And a lot of, doing the right things, ducking and diving. You've got to cut every corner you can. But essentially, a lot of it comes down to that grit and passion and belief in yourself. So yeah, I know it's like a slogan. The way to develop self-belief and bet on yourself is just to ask yourself, are you doing everything that you can? And it's just a logical process. What are the steps to get from A to B? And if there are knowledge gaps and things that you're not good at, or you've not got quite boxed off, you've got to ask for help. An example of this, so a guy did a couple of podcasts last week, right? They'll be out soon on other people's podcasts. And one of them was a guy in the States, and he's starting an e-commerce business. Great guy. Done a fantastic site, right? Website, really nice. The bit that he'd missed was the SEO optimization. So in my experience, and this is what I've learned, right? No matter how good that website looks, could be the best looking product, the best looking site, but unless you can bring in traffic, it doesn't mean anything, right? It's irrelevant. It's like when I built my software business. I built the software and I was like, right, good, where are my customers? It's like, oh shit, I've got to learn how to sell it. It's like, that smacked me in the face. It was like, building software is fucking easy compared to like trying to sell it. It's like half the journey. It's like, right, what next? So this lad with the e-commerce, great. After the podcast, we had a quick look at it, and because I've got skills in that area, just give him a few tips, and I've connected him in to my team. It's like, don't be afraid to reach out. Sometimes it's things that you don't quite understand. Like, we always figure things out, but eventually you'll find out on your journey. And I would always say, where you can, I know it costs money. If you haven't got any money, obviously you've got to manage your own budget, but where you can, pay in for help in getting certain things done where people are good at it. A lot of people don't like paying people. I've always been a massive fan of paying. I've had coaches, just every time I earn some money, mate, I try and leverage it and buy something else, like buy resource or get some help or get, just to get there quicker. So that's a big thing. Bet on yourself, knowing because you've got a solid plan. That's why, I always do it. I create a plan, and I talk about this on my videos. 3 things a day I do. What are the top 3 things I need to do today? Every day. That's all I do. Look at it. And I ignore all the people trying to get in touch with me, people emailing me, stuff like this. I'm like, no, I'm doing the 3 things that are going to move me towards my goals. And that's what I do. So like today, I wrote down, I've got a tender I'm preparing for. I mentioned big demo on Thursday. This project, if we were to win that, it would just completely change your life. It's massive. Another one I'm doing is some keyword research, stuff like this for products and like optimization, SEO optimization. Now I've leveraged that one out to my team. And the other one is a meeting with another client. You know, you've got to start keeping your a big thing about business is it's far better to keep your existing clients happy than it is to try and get new clients. Getting new clients is great, but customer retention and reducing churn is mega important. So making sure your clients are happy, support them, whether that's monthly meetings, monthly touch points with your clients. Even if you're at work, you know, you work for someone, make sure your clients are always happy. So there are my 3 things, and that's all I did today. Prep that demo, did a bit of keyword research, and then had a meeting to keep a client happy. Right? That's not a lot, but how impactful are them? Well, the first one is a life changer for the next few years. Right? The second one is SEO is like things that you have to get going in the background just to keep you going. And if you invest a bit of time in that, it pays off over the long term. And then the final one, keeping your client happy, is the same thing. Because in 12 months, when that license renewal's up for the software, you want that client to buy another license. And it's far easier to keep the customer retention. Right, I've got to shoot. I'm going training jiu-jitsu, so I have to go. Have a nice one. See you next time.